What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Coach Magali. If this is your first video of mine, if you're returning, thank you so much for being here. And on this channel, we talk all about fitness, nutrition, building muscle, going to the gym, all of the above. My goal is to just educate my audience with as much information that I know, things that I've been through, things that I've coached clients through, to hopefully help make your journey easier. So if you're into that type of content, please do not forget to subscribe down below. Like the video to let me know you enjoy content like this so that I can make more. And without further ado, let's get into 4 main reasons why you struggle to stay consistent with your gym routine, why you're always finding yourself starting, restarting, stopping, going for a few weeks, falling off, life getting in the way, and you're just left wondering, what the hell do these people that continue to go have figured out that I haven't? I do want to say 2 quick things. Some of the things that I'm going to say in this video might hurt your feelings, but it's coming all out of love and really with the intention to make you look at it from a different perspective, because my goal is to get you to be consistent, right? To help you achieve those goals, not to baby you and tell you things you want to hear. But remember, it's all out of love and I'm here to help. Second thing I want to say is this video is not talking about, let's say you had a really traumatic experience, you lost a family member, you're really, really sick. Obviously, there are times in life, you guys, where you have to take a break, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world if you take a week off, a month off, if you're going through something really, really difficult. So I'm not talking about those specific situations because obviously you have other priorities, right? However, I will say this, if you are watching this and you are going through something like that, you don't have to be all crazy and go to the gym 7 days a week and, meal prep every day, but taking care of yourself and putting yourself first during those moments can help you tackle it better. Just puts you in a better position to be stronger, more resilient, have more energy, whatever it is that you're dealing with. I'm sure there are things you can take from this video, but understand that if it's something that's super severe and super significant or really tragic, obviously take the time off. You're going to be okay. The person who I'm speaking to in this video is dealing with the day-to-day stressors of life. They find it hard to fit the gym into their lifestyle, and they really want to figure out how to do it where they don't have to keep restarting. Let's get into 4 main reasons why you're struggling to stay consistent. The first one, and I'm going to go right in with the knife, your problems are not unique. They're not special. We love, as humans, and I'm speaking for myself and I'm speaking for everybody because this is something we all do, is we love to think that our stressors of day-to-day life, our situation, they're unique to us and we're the only ones struggling with this. And the people who are consistent with the gym, they must not be struggling with this because I can't do it, so they must not have that problem because they're doing it, right? And so we start to play war in our head with like, who has it worse? Who's the bigger victim? Who has a worse circumstances? As a way to like excuse our behavior. And again, I'm not saying that you're not going through shit, and I'm not saying that there aren't crazy bad things that happen, but everybody's dealing with something. Everybody, whether they tell you or not. Some people are really good at hiding it, and others spill their guts to everybody they meet. Everybody has something that is causing significant stress in their life that takes up mental energy, physical energy, financial energy. Just because you are dealing with this problem doesn't mean that there aren't millions of other people dealing with the same thing. And some of them still go despite all of that. So it's not the lack of problems. It's not having stressors in life. It's just you find a way to fit it in with what's currently going on. But something that really helps you stay consistent is every time something happens to you, whether it's a life change, you just became a mom or parent or whatever. A lot of people are going through the same thing. A lot of people. And it's almost comforting to know, wow, they are able to achieve this routine, and I'm sure they have a lot of busy things going on in their life. How do they do it? I want to learn how to do that too. Versus, oh, look at them, they must not be dealing with what I'm dealing with. They have something special that I don't. And then using that again to not be consistent, to like kind of like throw your hands up and be like, well, my life sucks, so I'm not going to keep going. Understand that your problems are not special. Other people are out there with similar problems, maybe even worse. You don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. Point is, everybody's out there with some kind of issue, and they've been able to keep it going. Now, again, your lifestyles may be different. The amount that you can commit to may be different. What you do is going to be different. But being consistent in your routine is not something that should suffer because you think you have some unique problem. Have comfort and hope that there are people out there with other issues, similar or different, but issues in general, that are able to figure it out, so can you. And that brings me to the second reason. You don't know how to adjust, so you quit. Like I mentioned before, everybody's going through different things, right? And you're gonna go through different things depending on the season you're in. if you just had a baby, if you're just starting school, if you just got another job, if you change jobs, if you move states. Many things happen that kind of alter everything that we're doing, and inevitably you're gonna have to adjust things. There's no possible way that you're gonna use the exact same routine, the exact same plan for the rest of your life. That doesn't work. Our lives aren't constant. Our lives aren't just flatline, you know what I mean? But when these changes happen, instead of having the mentality like, well, okay, now I know that I can't do X, let me try to see how I can do maybe Y or Z. We think, well, the circumstances aren't ideal. I can't make it work. It's not gonna work anymore. I can't do 6 days a week at the gym, so might as well just quit and wait until the dust settles. Wait until the right time. Wait until things settle down. Wait until I'm not dealing with so much. You guys know how that works. We're always dealing with shit. There's always gonna be something that comes up. It's never gonna be the right time. It's never gonna be convenient. Life. That's life. So instead of just quitting and throwing your hands up and being like, screw this, I can't figure this out, what can you do? How can you adjust what you were doing before to fit into your life right now? If you cannot go to the gym 5 days a week like you used to before, maybe in college, okay, then go 3. Can't make it to the gym 3? Go 1 time to the gym to get your lifting in, do 2 cardio sessions at home. There's always ways to fit it in. There's always room to kind of switch things around and adjust. There's always something that you can do. And if you sit there and say, well, I'm not going to start now because things are kind of too crazy, I'll just wait until the dust settles again, like I said, then you wait 6 months, a year, you're like, how the fuck did I end up here like that? Because you didn't adjust, you didn't pivot. Adjust your plan, adjust what you're doing to be able to fit into the season that you're in. You might have to sacrifice some goals. You might have to change your approach. You might have to just change your mindset altogether. There will be changes that are required, but there's no reason, very rarely, I would say never, a reason to completely quit and say, no, I'm just gonna wait for a better time. There is no better time. There is always something you can do. And if in your mind you're thinking, well, what's the point in that? The time's gonna pass anyways. 6 months are still gonna pass, whether you do something or not. If you do nothing and you quit altogether, well, yeah, now you know the outcome. You know the guaranteed failure. But if you do something, anything at all, anything, as small as it may be, anything, it's gonna be more than 0. It's gonna put you in a better place than quitting altogether. Anything above 0 is above 0. It counts. It matters. It will make an impact. But just quitting altogether, not even trying, not even trying to figure out what you can and cannot do, well, then that's a guaranteed failure. You know where you're going to end up in 6 months. You know where this is headed. And anything will always put you further ahead than that. Learn to be okay with maybe backing down from an extremely busy workout schedule. Adjust. Don't quit. The next reason why you're not consistent is you're too impatient. I think we all understand that we have to do it longer than a week, right? Longer than 2 weeks. Like, that's kind of obvious. But what I find, most people quit like within a month or 2 because it's just long enough to feel like you've done something, like you've committed enough time, but it's not long enough to see massive changes in your physique, in your lifestyle, in your health. So people feel, wow, I've done it for a month and a half. Where are my results? Where is my ass? Where's the weight loss? I'm not seeing anything. Fuck this, I'm quitting. The time frame that I give people to establish a realistic time frame to expect things to happen is 6 months to a year. You can start to see changes within the 3-month mark, but that's like we're barely starting. We're barely establishing consistency. We're barely scratching the surface. 6 months is more than enough time, again, assuming you've been consistent this whole time, to see your body responding. But people get too impatient. A month and a half in, they're like, where are my results? I'm like, you have not even barely scratched the surface. You're just halfway to the bare minimum of time that I recommend for people to be consistent. How are you gonna possibly see a result that soon? You're not. It just doesn't work that way. Accept that reality, guys. It takes a long fucking time. It takes time. Anybody who's done this for a long time will tell you this. It is not something that gets done in a few weeks. It does not happen that way. Just think about it. How long did it take you to get into the routine that you're in now, to lose momentum, to gain the weight that maybe you didn't want to gain, to lose your strength? It doesn't take 2 weeks. It takes a long time. So the opposite is true. Because our brains love instant gratification, we are not programmed to like delayed gratification, meaning we get the result later. We need immediate result. This is something that I love to highlight with my clients and with myself. When you're in the middle of the process, when you're kind of en route to achieve the outcome, which is way over there, you need to acknowledge and credit yourself for the goals and the things that you accomplish right now. to kind of reinforce that you're moving in the right direction. Because if we just say, I'm not going to celebrate anything until I achieve my weight loss, we're going to get very discouraged very fast. So for example, if you've been working out for 2 weeks, wow, I'm starting to feel a little bit more energized throughout the day. I'm starting to eat a little bit better. I'm starting to lift more weight with this machine that I wasn't able to use in the beginning. Wow, my form has improved. That's worth celebrating. And find as many of these things that are maybe not physical, that are more subjective, that are about how you feel, about how you're performing, the other benefits that this is giving you. And that's going to help reinforce and encourage you to keep going. If you never make it a point to celebrate your wins and what you're accomplishing in that process, it's going to be really difficult to stay motivated. It's just not how our brains work, you guys. Like, if I tell you, like, you got to wait a year to see a result, you're like, I'm not doing it. If you keep telling yourself, I'll feel excited, I'll feel happy when I achieve the goal in 6 months and a year, then you're never going to have those little bits of rewards in the meantime to keep you going. We need encouragement. We need to credit ourselves. We need to feel on a regular basis that what we're doing is working. Otherwise, we're going to feel really, really, really impatient, and it's going to be hard to willpower your way through that. Our brains are very, very, very powerful, and when it doesn't want to do something, it will fight you to the death to avoid doing it. So make sure that you're acknowledging yourself, applauding yourself when you do something or see something progress, no matter how small it is. And if you're thinking, well, I don't have the patience to wait 6 months, I'm not going to do it. Well, again, time is going to pass regardless. And if you do nothing, the time again is going to pass. You're not speeding down or slowing down time. It's going to pass regardless. So again, you're better off doing something and being patient and giving yourself those little bits of rewards in the meantime. Write down the list of everything you've accomplished. Write down what's going well. Write down your higher energy levels. You're feeling better. Your clothes are fitting better, whatever it may be. And look at that list whenever you feel like quitting. Inevitably, because you're going to trip up, you're going to make a mistake. You might fall off a day or two. Just try to use the rule. I learned this rule in Atomic Habits by James Clear. Incredible book, by the way. I highly recommend it. When establishing habits and things that you want to add into your life, try to make it a point not to miss 2 days in a row. So if you skip the gym one day and you skip it again the next day, try to go that third day to restart the momentum. When we go too long without doing something, we kind of fall into that pattern again over and over and over. So don't miss more than 2 days in a row, and that equals to about 80% consistency, and that's going to be more than enough. Those 6 months are going to fly by. Not only is it going to be a more enjoyable process because you're not just focused on the weight, you're also focused on everything else that this healthy lifestyle brings into your life, like more energy and just an overall better quality life. But you gotta be patient. Put your patience pants on. This is a long game. And the last reason why you're struggling with consistency, and this is a big one, is not having a clear plan or strategy that you're following. There's also the people that overcomplicate it and spend way too much time researching and spend way too much time trying to figure out the right way to do it, and they don't end up moving. That's not good either. When you have a plan, you know what exercises you're going for, you know what the overall goal of each session is going to be, then it feels easier to continue when maybe you're not motivated or maybe you're not feeling that confident, because you know that it's part of a bigger plan. When we're aimlessly kind of winging it, spending time on social media right before we start the workout to see what our favorite influencer posted, or going on YouTube and just searching whatever random leg day you come across, that's fine, but long term, it's not going to keep you going because you're not going to have a way to measure, to track, to compare data if everything's different all the time. You don't want to overcomplicate this, and I feel like some trainers portray programming and writing exercise programs to be this incredibly complex thing. It's basic shit, you guys. You just have to squat, you gotta leg press, you gotta work out your upper body, you gotta do some cardio to keep your heart happy, do some core work, but I want you to figure that out beforehand. Don't fall victim to the constantly changing algorithm on Instagram determining what it is that you do for your training sessions. If your goal is to build muscle, to get stronger, to see tangible progress, you need to be repeating a structured program. If you've watched any of my videos so far, you've probably caught on to this. I recommend people keep the same program, meaning what you do on Mondays, you repeat every Monday, you repeat the Monday after that, Tuesday, so forth and so on, at the very minimum 4 to 6 weeks. Why we're doing this is because you want to establish consistency, you want to establish repetition, and you want to be improving week after week. Again, how are we going to know if we're improving if every single day is different, if we're doing random shit all the time? We can't. You end up just kind of working out and sweating and getting tired, but not really progressing in the goals that you want. And then we don't have confidence in our plan because we're like, I don't know what I did last week. And when there's no confidence in the plan, when there's no confidence in your structure, it's a lot easier to fall off at the slightest bit of lacking motivation or life coming up. There just isn't the same commitment and the same drive versus when you have a plan. And I want you to remember, this is not some rocket science. How many days a week can you train? Start with what's realistic, right? Let's say 3. What do you want to work out? What are the things that you care about? Let's say you're a girl and you mainly want to focus on lower body. Great. We're going to do 2 lower body days and 1 upper body day. Add some abs and cardio in there, sprinkle it in, golden. You want to do 5 days a week? Great. Let's do 2 upper, 2 lower, and 1 cardio and abs. Lovely. Then each session, again, is going to be repeated week after week, the same day. And then each day is going to have a couple of exercises that specifically target that thing. Legs, quads, glutes, hamstrings, calves, blah, blah, blah. Upper body, chest, shoulders, back, whatever. Choose your exercises. Stick to it for 4 to 6 weeks. And then every week you go in, you try to progress. Is my form getting better? Am I lifting more weight? Am I, feeling more balanced and more confident in this lift? And because you're repeating and repeating and repeating the same program, then you're going to have a lot more confidence. You're going to tangibly see the progression. A little bonus tip here, write everything down. I've mentioned this many times as well. Write your stuff down so that you can go back to last week, look at your previous numbers and say, okay, what can I progress today? But again, if it's always different, if it's always changing, or you have nothing and you're just winging it, that's very, very, very difficult to do. And again, we lose motivation, we lose confidence in the program when there is none or it's kind of all over the place. And that's the beauty of having a plan. That's the beauty of taking 30 minutes before each 4 to 6 week period and designing a program that you want to follow. Use that time to search the Instagram algorithm and YouTube and kind of come up with your own custom plan that works for you. And then you keep it consistent for that time frame. And it's going to do wonders for motivation. It's going to do wonders for your consistency. It's going to be easier to follow the plan. If shit goes to sideways, then you just readjust the plan, you change things around, and then you keep moving forward. Make sure you have a plan, but don't overcomplicate it. Keep it consistent for 4 to 6 weeks. Every time you walk into the gym, progress a little bit more weight, more reps, and you're way more likely to actually stick with it and be consistent and actually get to your goals. As you can see, they're all connected, like they kind of all fall in with each other, because if we don't have a plan, if we're not really sure how to adjust things when things get crazy, if we're impatient, it's a recipe for disaster. We need to have all of these components, and I'm sure you noticed, none of these things are magical. There's no secret here. There's no exercise you're missing. That's really what it comes down to. It's simplicity is key. Having a plan to help you through those moments. And then again, having the mindset of, if things trip me up, how can I adjust versus quitting? That's the secret. These people that you see in the gym that you're like wondering what kind of superpower do they have? What willpower do they have? What secret do they have that they haven't shared that I don't have? That doesn't exist. All they're doing is these things. And it's gonna look different for everybody because everybody, again, is at a different point. Everybody has different preferences, goals, priorities, blah, blah, blah. But this is the backbone of what they're doing. It's what I've done for 6 years. It's what I teach my clients to do. And that's what it's gonna help you stop quitting and stop restarting. Don't overcomplicate it more than this video. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Again, if I made you feel a certain way, just remember it's coming out of love. I genuinely want to see you win. And sometimes we need to hear the tough truth and we need to be told what we're doing wrong, because then you can correct it. Then you can make improvements. You can take that power back, live a life that you want to live intentionally and not just kind of reacting to. And just feeling overwhelmed, feeling lost, feeling frustrated with yourself. It's not a good way to live. And if you establish this routine and you keep it consistent, the quality of your life, your confidence, your health, your energy, everything in your life is going to improve. Everything. It's a little bit of work, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's worth it. It's worth it every freaking time. That concludes today's video. I appreciate you for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope you found it useful. If you did, do not forget to subscribe for more content like this. Let me know in the comments anything that stood out to you, any feedback you want to give me. Make sure to like this video as well so that I know to make more, that you guys enjoy it. If you know somebody who's struggling with their consistency and you feel like this video would be helpful and it would help open their eyes to maybe a different perspective, then please feel free to share it with a friend. I would really appreciate you helping me spread this message. Thank you all for being here once again, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.